To do this, first off, we'll take the SIM tray out and use a piece of thick plastic to pry open the rear case. The case is rather bendy, but as long as you don't bend it too much, it'll come off just fine. Just inside the rear case on the back, we can see the antenna for GPS, NFC, Wi-Fi and MIMO. We also get a look at the 2700 mAh battery, which looks removable but it isn't. At least not yet. The connectors are buried underneath and we can't get at them yet. Let's move on. Removing the mid-frame is easy for the most part, but it poses one challenge. The mid-frame comes in two pieces attached together at the lower end. So we need to be careful and start prying it up from the bottom. But first, let's unscrew these screws. There are 10 of these, so we'll need to be careful not to lose them. We can now pry out the mid-frame from the phone. The mid-frame came out easily enough and it houses the front-facing speaker on the bottom part with the Nexus Imprint fingerprint reader piggybacking on the top. The fingerprint reader comes out of the mid-frame quite easily. This is helpful especially if you're encountering issues with recognition, which is most probably due to a faulty fingerprint reader. A replacement Nexus Imprint fingerprint reader will cost you around $6. Fingerprint readers for other devices will probably have different pricing. We can also clearly see the dual LED flash and the laser autofocus. The vibration motor is also present here itself. This is the motor that causes the vibration your phone makes when you receive notifications. On the bottom, we can see the USB Type-C port and the headphone jack. The Type-C port is soldered onto the motherboard and can be replaced easily. However, the headphone jack uses spring contacts. We'll remove that soon. The front camera comes out easily, but the rear camera has some adhesive coating on it, which may require a little heating before we can pry it out. However, thanks to the easily removable cameras, if you're having issues with your camera sensor, you can easily get them replaced. Here we can see both the 12 megapixel rear and 5 megapixel front cameras in all their glory. They really don't look like much, do they? The routing switch is responsible for routing your data through the internet. It acts both as a network switch and a router. None of the ICs can be individually replaced, so if any one of them ends up misbehaving, you will have to replace your entire motherboard. The headphone jack on the Nexus 5X also uses spring contacts to connect to the device, which means that it's easy to remove and easy to replace in case it stops working properly. So, in case your headphone jack isn't working quite as well as you'd like, you can rest an Android phone. Obviously, the method will differ depending on what phone you have, but this video was meant to be something of a starting point for the things you can expect to find inside an Android smartphone, along with the common issues.